Hello, I'm Mirenda. I'm an advocate for constructive debate, and something happened on my Facebook feed this morning that really got my ire up. So, friends, let's discuss problematic phrases like good egg, bad egg, or all police are bad, because these kinds of statements really don't foster healthy dialogue. Let me tell you, I'm a little frustrated. Here are the arguments that I saw repeated over and over again on my Facebook feed. A man is dead, and it's absolutely as a result of systemic racism that allows for police officers to murder people in the street. But it's not all police officers, it's just a few bad apples. Okay, I agree that there are good officers and bad officers, but at the end of the day, a man is dead because systemic racism does not hold the bad police officers accountable. Don't take that tone. The police have a hard and dangerous job, and it's only a few bad eggs. First of all, don't correct my tone. I agree there are some good police officers and some bad police officers. There's probably some whole entire good police stations, but a man is dead as a result of the systemic racism that facilitates these kinds of murders. The man is dead. Yes, but blue lives matter. Black lives matter too. And the argument just keeps going on and on and on and on. The thing is, there's common ground. Both sides are arguing for justice for Mr. Floyd, some more than others. Even the people who are advocating for police officers very much want justice for Mr. Floyd. It's just that some of them believe that he's complicit in his own murder. That's not what we're talking about today. The problem is both sides fail to see validity in either person's argument. And it's because they're coming from two completely different sets of goals, motivations, and focuses. Those who are advocating for an end to systemic racism and those whose priority is Black Lives Matter, it means Black Lives Matter also, in case you were confused. They're making 3 points. The first is that the system in which the officers operate is completely flawed because it facilitates the murders of citizens without holding police officers accountable. Second, as a result, heinous acts like the murder of Mr. Floyd are more common than they ever should be. Third, the system needs to be corrected so that the bad police officers cannot do bad things. It's clear to see that those who are advocating for social justice, their entire focus is on changing a flawed system and getting justice for those who have been murdered within that system. On the other side of the coin, those who are advocating for police lives are also making 3 points. The first is that not all officers are bad. The second is that the police have an incredibly dangerous job and that they go out into the world every day trying to keep the peace. They are at a higher level of risk for murder than the average person. Third, they highlight that there are good officers and bad officers and that they should not all be tarred with the same brush, and that we are further endangering the lives of the good officers by highlighting the actions of the bad officers. The motivation of police advocates is simply to preserve police lives, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. When looking at these arguments, it's clear to see that one set is taking a macro view of the situation and they're looking at the entire system as a whole and how we can fix it. And the focus of the other side is the individual police lives that are operating within that system. These two perspectives do not have to be mutually exclusive. The problem is when we use these problematic statements like a few bad eggs or a few bad apples, what the other side hears is, oh, the murders are not that bad. Mr. Floyd's death isn't as heinous as you think because it was only a few bad police officers amongst many good police officers, so you should feel comforted that not that many officers want to murder Black people. That's what people hear. These kind of problematic statements make those who are advocating for social change, and me, also me, feel as if you're saying, Mr. Floyd's murder, not that bad. The problem is not as bad as you think. It's just a few officers, and all those other heinous murders, they just aren't as bad as you think. And then we usually don't want to hear anything else you have to say. On the flip side, when we use problematic statements like, oh, all of the police are bad, the entire system is bad, what those who are advocating for police lives hear is, police lives are not as valuable to you as Black lives. Black lives are prioritized over police lives, and they should be equal. And what are you arguing about? And then it devolves into an argument that is fruitless. And I'm all about the constructive arguments. So let's find common ground. Both sides want social justice. I don't think anybody's arguing that Mr. Floyd's death was not heinous. There's a few. They're not part of this conversation I'm having right now. I don't know if I will ever address that. The common ground facilitates change from both sides. Those who are advocating for police lives can encourage police officers to take a hard stand against systemic racism. They can support police officers when they stand up against heinous acts like Mr. Floyd's murder. I will keep saying his name, Mr. Floyd, Mr. Floyd, Mr. Floyd. In the same vein, those who are focused on social justice, those who want to end systemic racism, can continue doing what they're doing. They can highlight the social injustices. They can take a hard stand against individuals and institutions and companies that support systemic racism. We're all in this together. We should not be fighting amongst one another. We should be united, each from our own focus, our own perspective, using whatever motivates us to end social injustice. I have provided this critical analysis because I really hope it will deepen your understanding of those who have opposing views to your own. I hope it encourages you to find common ground with others so that we can meet our shared goals. I hope this helps, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.